Hi guys, welcome back. We're back with another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about a pattern which is called the Quasimodo pattern, or QM pattern as many call it. And some of you guys might have known about this pattern from the head and shoulder pattern. You know, the pattern, every retail trader learns when they come across Forex. But I'm going to be showing you a different way on how you can trade this pattern to increase your probability in the market. Alright, so the first thing that we always look at when you open up any chart is your market structure. Alright, you need to understand your market structure with clarity for you to make better decisions in the market. Alright, so I'm just going to take you through a quick explanation on market structure. For those who have been following us, you know that we always talk about market structure in all our videos, so it's a very, very important element one has to master. Right, so the basic head and shoulder pattern you might know of is basically where you have a higher high, and then you wait for price to come back to this area for you to sell. Right, this is the basic head and shoulder pattern that every retail trader is taught, or every trader knows about. Right, but I'm going to be showing you a different pattern that you can use in the markets to look for high probability trades. Right, so if we are looking at an up phase, right, a rally phase, we basically have consecutive higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and a higher high. Right, so as long as we continue seeing these higher highs and higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows, right, we are in an up phase. Right, the only time we can now say we have a change of structure is when we break structure. So in this case, instead of us getting a higher low, we actually get a lower low, right, where we break this previous structure, so this becomes a lower low. Right, so in this case, the type of pattern that you want to trade is this, right, your head and shoulder pattern. Right, as most people trade this, but I'll be showing you a different way on how you can trade this pattern. Right, so this QM pattern is very simple. What we look for is a higher high. All right, once you see a higher high, once you see another higher high, right, so a higher low, and we have a higher high right above this area. And what we want to see, right, is a break of structure giving us a lower low. Right, so you can see what we have right here. Right, we've got the higher high and the higher low below that area. Right, and as you can see, we've got this structure broken. Right, so basically what we're going to look for, right, we are going to look to make our entry from this zone. Right, as you can see, from this high to the higher high, this area is our golden zone. Right, this area is the area where we want to find a decision point to make our entry, or a supply zone to make our entry. I'm going to be showing you how you can use key levels, right, as we go on, to actually filter, right, these are zones for you to make a better decision. So what we'd look for here after seeing this lower low is what would love to see price, right, give us compression back into the golden zone. Right, so we are only going to look for zones to make our entry in the golden zones only. Right, this is your golden zone. Right, so anything below this we do not want to trade. Right, anything below this we do not want to trade. Right, we are only going to look for an entry in the golden zone. All right, so basically this is what we look for. We look for an entry in the golden zone, right, and we would also want to see price get back to the beginning of this compression. All right, so this is our earliest take profit, we can target. Right, we can target this zone right here. Remember, where we have the lower low, that is the area where we can target after making our entry around this in this area. Right, and as you can see, this also gives us very good risk to reward on our trades. So we're looking at anywhere from 1:3 or 1:5, right, which in the long run, by you being selective, you will actually see steady growth on your account, right, depending on your account size. All right, so this is basically what we're going to look for, right, in the chart. All right, but one thing that I'm also going to add is key levels. Right, key levels. Right, I'm going to keep this very simple. Right, so if we have an area where price respects or reacts to a lot, right, that is our key level. Right, so we'll have something like this where price goes up, resist, reaches this area as resistant, price can go up, this becomes support, price goes down, we can call this area right here a key level, right, because price reacts to that area, as you can see many times, right? So this is what we're going to use, right, to actually add more confluence, right, within our golden zone. Remember, we only want to trade within our golden zone, right? So we'd want to see something like this. Let me just make a new drawing here. Would want to see something like this, right? Would want to see high, break of structure, and would want to identify, right? Remember, this is an area we want to look for, right? From this high to the high, this is our golden zone, right? So what we can now actually look, right, and find on the chart, we can look for an area where, right, we can identify a key level, meaning an area where price might have, price bounces around a lot, as you can see, right, something like this, right. That will then become the area where we can actually filter, right. Would want to see price get to that level. Remember, we look for decision points or zones to sell from in this golden zone. So would want to see something like this, right? This makes it a very high probable trade to play out. All right, this makes it a high probable trade. All right, guys, so we will continue after this. Alright, guys, welcome back. Alright, let's look at some charts. Alright, so as you can see right here, we can see price has been moving up. Alright, we can see price is giving us higher highs. So we've got a high. We have broken structure, previous structure. Remember, structure is very important. So we can identify the structure breaker right here. Alright, and we can see that the market is giving us a higher high, right? And from this higher high, we can then see how price has broken multiple structures, giving us this lower low right here, right? So this then becomes our golden zone, as I said, right? This becomes our golden zone right here. From this high to the higher high, this becomes our golden zone. But remember, we did speak about, so basically this is what we expect to see, right? And call this a setup. We expect to see something like this, right? So we'd expect price to come back to this area, right, in this golden zone, and we can find an entry. But remember, we spoke about key levels. So in this case, we're not really going to look at the left that much, but we can identify this area right here as a key level, as you can see. Right, price has played around this area, so I would put my focus on this decision point right here. Right, remember, this is actually a reversal. We've got a rally, base, drop. So the type of setup on this It's very simple. All right, what you want to see is price rallying, giving you a base and dropping. So when we have this becomes our sell zone, right? This becomes our sell zone. So we'd expect price to get back to this area, and we sell from there. All right. So this is what we can see right here, right? This was a nice area, and as you can see, price did take its time. Right, price did take its time, but price finally came back to the zone. And as you can see, if you are ready for entry, such trades allow you to risk anywhere, from 5 to 10 pips, 15, depending on what you're trading. But as you can see, if your stop was above this area, this is 15 pips, and this has already went down for more than 100 pips. Right, so the risk to reward on this is amazing, guys. All right, you just have to spend some time with the charts, back test, and master this pattern. All right, so here's another one on NAS 100. Very simple. We can see the high, right? The higher high, and what I love about this is this is actually respecting a reversal point. What do we have? Rally, base, drop. All right, the same thing I just spoke about here. All right, rally, base, drop. This becomes our sell zone. We want to see price come back here, and we sell from there. So this is exactly what we can see from here. This sell zone right there, price pushed down and then finally came back, and this was a nice sell zone. All right, but what we can identify also here is we've got a high and a higher high, right, within this inner structure here, going back to this sell zone. All right, we can identify that from that higher high we had this lower low, right? Aggressive moves, breaking structure, as you can see, right? Structure was broken, right? So remember, from this high to the higher high, remember this is in the H4, guys, so we can move over to the H1 for you to see this high. This is what I'm talking about, this area right here. All right, as you can see, this high, low, higher high. All right, so for this becomes our golden zone. But remember, we spoke about key levels. All right, so I like using the line chart. You can identify key levels better. Remember, we are looking for this within our golden zone. All right, this looks like a very good key level. All right, so if we turn back to the candles, we can identify that you can always adjust this. Remember, it has to be within the golden zone. All right, so we can see some nice movements here. We can also identify this as a key level right here. All right, remember, this is our structure in the H1. Right, this becomes our sell zone. All right, this becomes our sell zone because it's a reversal. We've got a rally, base drop, so this becomes our sell zone. We wait for price to come back here. So this is what we can identify. A very nice decision point in the golden zone right there on Nasdaq, and we can also identify the 3D pattern back to that area. But as you can see, price went back into that zone, and the risk to reward on this is definitely amazing. All right, so you can also find this on other indices. You can find this on anything, right, that has a chart. All right, here's another one. We can identify this high, higher high. We can identify a nice swing, breaking structure. We focus more on our golden zone, and as you can see, price did come back there. Right, we can see it clear in the H1. Let's see if we can find it. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, there we go. So what we can see here, all right, is we had a nice reversal area within this zone. All right here. Right, this was a rally, base drop, so this becomes our sell zone. Right, if you can just demarcate this right here. Right, this is our sell zone. All right, so remember, we're also going to look at your key level. Right, you need to look for a key level. So within this area, if you turn to your line chart, you can identify you know, where price was reacting the most. Right there, looks like a good one. You can always adjust it on the chart. Right, so within our golden zone, this was a very nice area, as you can see. Resistance, resistance, support, support, support. So this was a nice area for you to look out for. And as you can see, price pushed back into that area, and you know, the risk to reward on that is amazing. Right, so this can be applied in anything, guys. You can also apply this in your exotics. You know, I looked for this example, something recent on USDZR, and this is in 1 minute. Alright, so I wouldn't advise for you to play a lot in the M1 unless you're timing your trade, right? Because it's very noisy. But you do find these setups, these patterns, in your smaller time frame as well. So as you can see, high. Right, our golden zone is above. We can identify a lower low. We can identify a lower low there. This becomes our golden area. You can see how price went all the way down, finally came back, and how it moved away from that. So you know, these are the type of trades where you get to risk less, you know, for more. Alright guys, hope you guys have learned something from these videos. Let us look at some important notes from this